Fernandez, we appreciate you tuning in tonight and every single Wednesday night at 6:05 p.m. for your favorite local sports show. We got a real big juicy one tonight. A little bit later in the show, we're going to blow it out high school football wise. Notre Dame has a brand new head football coach, Rick Pontious. We're going to join him. He's going to join us live on the show. We also have Nick Matheny from Summit High School, and Coach Matheny and the Skyhawks are doing a really cool thing, giving back to the Tongan families that go to Summit High School. They've got extended families still on the island of Tonga that were affected by the tsunami and the volcano eruptions, which turned into earthquakes and tsunamis, all kinds of stuff going on down there in the South Pacific. So we're going to talk with head coach Nick Matheny as well. We also have Arrowhead Christian girls soccer head coach Joey DeSantis and goal scoring machine Madeline Hood coming up just a little bit later on the show. But right now, I can't believe I'm saying this, high school baseball is right around the corner. In fact, the first games will take place next weekend for a lot of our local teams. Joining us live on the show, he is a CIF Southern Section champion, Jared Snyder from Citrus Valley Baseball, the Blackhawks. And Jared, first off, how does that sound? CIF champion. I'm sure that never gets old, right?
No, it sounds amazing. I mean, just everybody walking up and saying, "Oh, you won a CIF championship." It's a great feeling.
Now, Jared, I know we're looking ahead to this upcoming season, and you guys probably have big goals going into Division III. But for a moment, let's look back on your Division V championship from last year. How fun was that ride? How awesome was it to win that CIF title?
I think after, the year that got shut down, we knew we had the talent to go out and do it. But going out and doing it last year was a great experience, and it was really fun to do it with all the guys.
Now, Johnny, we've got a little bit of B-roll back there, some video from your championship game against Cajon. You beat the Cowboys, your league rival, 6-2 for that championship game. We'll take a look at some of that video in just a moment. But you're a Long Beach State, you're going to be a future dirtbag, and you won that championship at Long Beach State University. Was that kind of special, knowing that you're going to be a Long Beach State guy?
Yeah, when we found out, I got, extremely excited, because that's somewhere that I'm going to be playing for, the next 3 to 4 years. So it was really fun to go out there and play in front of all the coaches and at a field that I'm going to be playing at soon.
And basically the same colors as well, Citrus Valley and Long Beach State, right? You're going to be rolling with the same colors.
Yeah, same colors.
Well, Jared, we're looking at some video from that championship game. Again, you beat Cajon, your Citrus Belt League rival, in that title game. What was it like going up against them again? I mean, having two teams from the same league playing for a CIF title, you don't really see that very much. And you guys both had some great players on both teams.
Yeah, it was fun, because we all have good relationships with all the guys from Cajon. And I think it was a fun experience for both of us. And, I mean, we both knew a lot about each other, so that really helped out.
All right, Jared, I've got some of your stats from last season. You hit almost 500, actually. You hit 473, according to Max Preps. You led the team in RBI. You had a couple of home runs. You led the team in doubles. Obviously, you're already a great hitter, but do you feel like you could be even better, like there's still room to grow?
Yeah, there's always room to grow when it comes to hitting. I mean, at the next level, the game's going to change. It's going to be a lot harder to put up those numbers. So I'm continuing to, put in the work and get myself right for the next level.
So looking ahead to Long Beach State, you're gonna be behind the backstop, right? You're gonna be catcher still?
Yep, I'll be catching. And if they move into the outfield, then I'll be ready to go out there.
Because, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, I love baseball. And when I think of catchers, usually they bring in catchers because they can call a great game. They've got a great rapport with the pitcher. They're great defensively. And if they can hit a little bit, that's just a bonus. But you're a guy that can obviously swing it. They're probably going to want that bat in the lineup. How do you balance between, being a great defensive guy and getting along with the pitchers and managing the pitching staff and also hitting, almost 500?
Yeah, I think the first focus is to definitely get the defensive things right. I mean, to just get my relationships with the pitchers and all the guys, and then I'll focus on hitting. I mean, I'll do whatever to get in the lineup, whether I'm playing the outfield or whether I'm catching. So, yeah. All
right, Jared, let's talk about this year. How many guys are back on this year's Citrus Valley squad that won the CIF title last year? Now, you don't have to give me an exact number, but is there quite a few guys back?
I think, yeah, we have like 8 or 9 guys because, I mean, we only graduated, I think, 5 or 6 seniors, so we have a lot of guys left.
So having gone through that journey of winning a CIF Southern Section Championship, do you think that experience will help you guys this season, especially going into Division III? Let's just assume right now you guys make the playoffs at the end of the regular season. Division III, man, there's going to be some really good teams. So you feel like having been there before, you guys are up for that challenge?
Yeah, definitely the experience will help. I mean, knowing what it takes and, everybody has to step up and what we have to do to win it. I mean, I think the experience from last year will definitely help out, and we can, tell maybe the younger guys who haven't had that experience yet what they need to do and, how it works.
So, Jared, as a senior, are you trying to, just really soak up this season, enjoy all the moments along the way, and, whether you win a title at the end or not, but just trying to really enjoy this journey? I mean, obviously, baseball is still in your future. You're going to go play at Long Beach State and maybe get drafted, who knows? But are you just trying to enjoy maybe your senior season with the Blackhawks?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's gone by so fast. I remember when I was a freshman, so definitely trying to soak up this year and just enjoy the moments with all the guys because, I mean, in the next few months I'll be playing at Long Beach, so just really enjoy the moment right now.
Now, the season starts for you guys, not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday. You're going to take on a very tough Canyon Springs team. Canyon Springs usually fields a pretty good squad from out of the Ivy League. What are you hoping to see from your Blackhawks in that first game of the year? I mean, do you think you might have to knock off a little rust? Are you guys dialed in already? What are you hoping to see in that first game of the year?
I think we're pretty dialed in. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who we're playing against. I mean, as Coach Austin always says, we have to play against the ball. So I think we're going to be pretty dialed in and ready when it comes to that first game. I mean, we're extremely excited. We're ready to go. We're fired up. And, yeah, I mean, let's hope everything goes well this year.
Hey, how is my boy, Coach Austin? How's he doing?
He's doing good. Yeah, he's doing good.
Yelling at you guys and getting you guys all dialed in for that first game?
Oh, always. He always gets fired up towards this time of the season. The last couple of weeks, I mean, he's getting us fired up and dialed in to go.
Jared, when you look at the non-league portion of your schedule before you get to Citrus Belt League play, I was looking at your schedule. You play some pretty good teams. When you go through that non-league portion, are you just hoping, obviously you play to win the game, but are you hoping to just see this team growing and getting better and kind of, taking those steps towards winning a CBL title and feeling like you're going to be ready for the playoffs? I know that's way down the road, but when you look at the non-league games, you just feel like you want to see some progress out of your team?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, as Coach Austin always says, we have 3 seasons in a season. So our first season will be, the preseason games, and we focus on that till we get to our league season. And then after that will be the playoff season. So I think we're going to really focus on, the preseason more than anything right now. We're not really thinking about CBL. We're not thinking about playoffs yet. But I mean, definitely, hopefully, we see a lot of growth throughout this preseason and gets us ready for the CBL.
All right, Jared, you hit 473 last year. Do you have any individual goals this upcoming season? Like, could you hit 500? Like, is 500 a possibility this year?
I mean, it's a hard thing. I think the main thing for me is to maybe get those home runs up. Maybe get to like 4 or 5, but I mean, I'm going to do whatever it takes to, win the ball game, whether I have to lay a bunt down or if I have to, swing big, whatever it takes.
Now, come on, nobody likes bunts. We all like home runs. Are you hitting the weight room? Are you drinking protein shakes? Like, what are you doing? Are you bulking up a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like this off season, I really hit the weight room harder than usual. Just trying to get my body ready for when I get to college baseball because, I mean, that's a different breed out there. A lot of those guys are much bigger. They're already ready to go. So I think just getting my body ready has definitely helped me out.
Well, Jared, listen, I really appreciate the time. I've said this time again, congrats on that fantastic run last year, but I know it's a clean slate now. You guys are trying to do it all over again this upcoming season. But, Jared, I really appreciate the time, and best of luck this upcoming season. Please tell Coach Austin and the guys I said.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That is Jared Snyder from Citrus Valley Baseball. The Blackhawks, your Division 5. from a season ago, trying to do it all over again, but in D3 this year. All right, that's going to do it for this segment. Thank you again to Jared Snyder for joining us. When we come back, we are going to talk some football with the new head football coach at Notre Dame. Come right back here at the Teen Vision TV 16 studio. I'm Pep Fernandez with more Inland Sports Show next.
What up, guys? Boost
Hey, Jared, if you can still hear.
You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Pep Fernandez at the Boost Performance Center with the one and only Ray Bass, the Boost Man. And Ray, very exciting in this Gridiron Question Series. We've got some great questions because you're the guy with the answers. So, Ray, our first Gridiron question is, there's a lot of great athletes from different sports that come here to the Boost Performance Center. What about the girls out there? There's a lot of boys here at Boost, but Boost is for the girls as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, girls can absolutely benefit. From my 10 years of experience working with youth athletes, one of the things that I see is I don't see as many girls participating in a robust strength and conditioning program like you see boy athletes do. And the reality is that they work just as hard, if not harder, than boys do. And this is one of the reasons why you have higher instances of injuries with girl athletes, like ACL tears. And it really boils down to proper movement mechanics and getting stronger. And now when I talk about getting stronger, I'm talking about cleaning, pressing, squatting and deadlifting, all those big lifts that can help you not only become more durable, but helps you become a better overall athlete. Girl athletes benefit from that type of training just as much as boys do.
Man, that was awesome, Ray. Thank you so much. And if there's a parent out there watching this right now and they've got a question for the Boost Man, make sure you're following Boost Training on social media. You can also send us a question. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, we'll see you with another Gridiron question here from Boost Training.
Up ahead, Beaumont wins it. Cougars now going to an offensive mode here. Inside Prince, right-footed shot, and in past Vialta, and Brandon Prince with his second goal of the game. 2 unanswered by Prince, and he gives Beaumont the 2-1 lead.
That was a wild game. The Beaumont Cougars, first place Beaumont Cougars boys soccer, going on the road to Cajon, winning 3-2. It came down to the final seconds. It was amazing. The whole game right now is on IEMG. That's the IE Media Group YouTube channel, so you can check that out. But first place Beaumont still in first place with that big win on the road at Cajon. Now we go from football to football, American football. And there's a new head coach at Notre Dame High School. Rick Pontious joined us live on the show. And, Coach, I'd imagine it's a good time to to be you right now. You're the head coach of Notre Dame, and you also recently got engaged towards the end of the high school football season. So you've had some pretty memorable moments in the last couple of weeks and months.
Yeah, first off, Pep, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's, followed your show for a long time, so it's kind of surreal to be on here and actually speaking to you in that room. But to answer your question, yes, absolutely. Got engaged the end of October, and kind of everything happened, and here we are, a couple months, and now I'm the head football coach here at Notre Dame. It's an absolute blessing.
Well, Coach, what do you feel like you can do right now? Here we are, first week of February. What are some things that you could do right now? Like what's on your to-do list as the new head coach at Notre Dame that you feel like you can start getting the team better, improving, trending up, however you want to put it? Like, is it the weight room? Is it just communicating with your guys? What are things you can do right now?
Well, we've been in the weight room. We started December 1st. So being part of the staff already, that's kind of helped out, being on campus and all those means. But, December 1st, we started, took our little break, and came back January 10th, and we've been at it. So, weight room and just getting those guys to understand that how important that weight room is, and having an off season with them is absolutely important. When we came in last year, it was pretty much June, and next thing you know, it was first game of the year, and we're off and running.
Well, Coach, I know you're a Roosevelt guy. You've had stops where you're coaching at King, you're coaching at Patriot. Did you ever envision that you'd be back in the Riverside area as a head coach at some point?
No, not really. I've always had that dream that I wanted to be a head coach. I worked my first stop was under Kevin Corden. Coach Corden, great guy, taught me a lot. And then I went under Jason McMains, and, Jason's done a lot of great things, in his stops, and I've learned, under him. And, I just, never really thought that it would happen. And it's kind of, again, it's surreal. I'm excited and ready to go. And, I got a lot of mentors in, my back pocket that I can reach out to and kind of, talk with them. And like I said, I'd never really envisioned it, but I mean, here we are, and I'm ready to take that challenge on. Well,
Coach, this is a Titan team that did not win a game last year, and there's probably not an easy fix, but what do you think you can do like that you might put on, on the program, maybe your stamp of approval on the program to kind of improve some things and feel like you're going to be competitive and win some games this upcoming year? What are some changes or things that you can do, you feel like?
Biggest is stability. I think over the last few years, this program hasn't had that. And I think that's what they're lacking. Somebody that they can kind of trust and know that's going to be here. And most of the staff that was with us last year are here. So that continuity is there. The players know who we are and what we're about. And of course, I'm going to bring in some other pieces to kind of help us along the way. But I think that's the biggest thing is stability, is let these guys know, they've had quite a bit of coaches in the past, come and go through the last few years. And we got to change that. And that's what I want to do. And the coaches I've played for and coached under, and they've brought that stability. And I want to do the same thing that they have, but here at Notre Dame.
Coach, you brought up, some names that we're obviously very familiar with here on the Inland Sports Show. Coach Corden, Coach McMain, some of those guys. And you said you picked up some things along the way from your different stops. How would you describe your brand of football? Like, do you want to score a lot of points? Is it going to be, hey, we're going to run the football down your throat and play great defense? I mean, how would you kind of describe what you'd like to see from Notre Dame this upcoming year?
Being a military guy and kind of, playing under Coach Cochran too, discipline across the board, very disciplined football team, very physical football team, just getting after people. I mean, obviously we want to score a lot of points, and that will come eventually, I hope so. But just physical discipline, I mean, those are the two things. Outwork people because we don't have the big numbers, so we're going to have to outwork guys in front of us and just have that work ethic. I was raised that no matter what you do, if you work hard enough, great things will come. And that's what I'm going to instill in these guys.
Coach, obviously, thank you for your service. You're a Navy veteran. Are there things that you learned in the Navy? It sounds like you were talking about some of them. You just touched upon some of them, that, things that you learned in the Navy that can apply on the football field as well. Things you can instill in your players that you'd like to see from them. Maybe accountability, hard work, teamwork, all those sorts of things. What are some of those things that you can apply to the football field?
Yeah, you hit that right on the nail. Exactly. Accountability is big. Attention to detail. Understand that every little detail matters. And it's not just the football field, it's the classroom, it's how you carry yourself on campus, it's what you dress, how you dress, things that you interact with, how you interact with people. All those things matter. So, the biggest thing that, I want to put on is basically starts with that attention to detail, and we're going to work our tails off. That's a must. That you won't be a part of this football program unless, you want to work.
So, Coach, as you prepare and go through these winter months and into the spring, what are some things that you feel like, we talked about getting in the weight room and all those sorts of things, but, as we get closer to, if you have a week 0 game, like in August or whatever, whatever that date is, what are some things that you feel like you guys can still get better on? Maybe looking back at last year and some of your returning players, you're like, okay, we definitely need to clean up this area and this area. Like, what are some things that you just want to see this team be better at as you get closer to that first game?
Just understanding that, we got to compete on every play, every second of the game, not taking plays off, knowing the fact that the end of the scoreboard is not going to represent who we are, sometimes. We're going to be on the losing end of some things, and we might be on some winning end of things, but we got to compete. And that starts again in the weight room. We, got to learn how to win games, how we face adversity and how we're going to bounce back from those things. I think that's the biggest thing that we need as a program as a whole. And I think we'll get there eventually. It's going to take some time, but we'll get there.
And finally, Coach, before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about the San Bernardino Spartans. It's in the First Responders League, public safety folks. We're talking law enforcement, firefighters. You know more than I do, but I just saw on social media you're the new head coach of the Spartans this spring. How did that kind of come about, and what's your ties with this team?
Actually, I've been the head coach. I've been the head coach since 2018 when it first it came to existence. It used to be the Inland Empire Enforcers, and I actually played for them. They weren't 100% law enforcement. I'm not a law enforcement officer or anything like that, or first responder. Those guys do a heck of a job. I get to work with them, which is awesome. I built relationships with a lot of them. I was asked to be the head coach in 2018. We've kind of, took that on and created that organization, and it's a nonprofit organization. We travel all over, the United States to play teams from, New York all the way out here to California. And it's just a great opportunity to give back and to kind of show. But, I started off playing and then I, been head coach and just trying to kind of build that too. And it's something I enjoy. And the guys, that I've been around, I've gained that bond that, that's kind of unbreakable. And it reminds me a lot of the military.
Well, Coach, it's very exciting. Hopefully I'll see you out there on the sidelines. Might have to come check out one of those games. I think your home games are at San Bernardino Valley College. Does that sound correct?
Right. Yes, absolutely. And you're more than welcome to come out. That'd be great. Great to have you out there as well. I appreciate that.
Well, Coach Pontious, listen, I appreciate the time, and we'll see you this spring, and then we'll obviously see you in the fall as the new head coach of Notre Dame. So, Coach, thank you for your time, and congrats on the new gig.
Thanks, Pep. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. That is Rick Pontious, the head football coach for the Notre Dame Titans here on the Inland Sports Show. We got another quick break coming up. When we come back, Arrowhead Christian girls soccer going for a league title come tomorrow night against Western Christian. We'll break down the matchup when we come back here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock!
would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
What up, y'all? Boostman here, gonna break you off with a quick 2 cents on being a more mindful athlete. There's power in presence. Being present as an athlete requires giving 100% attention in all that you do. Doing this, we allow all of our preparation to flow through us in order to experience that elevated state called the zone and experience maximum levels of performance. Boostman.
Rao drives the kick over to Akin, right to the rim. It's up and it's in. Count it. Are you serious?
That was California Baptist men's basketball. They are hitting the road. 2 huge road games coming up for the Lancers, playing on the road at New Mexico State and Grand Canyon University. Meanwhile, back here in Riverside, the CBU women's basketball team will be taking on New Mexico State tomorrow night. Hope you'll join me on ESPN Plus. I'll have the call as the Lancers take on the Aggies in Western Athletic Conference play. All right, now we're moving on to girls soccer here, and a big-time matchup coming up tomorrow night in the Ambassador League. First place on the line, a league championship up for grabs. Joining us live on the show from Arrowhead Christian Academy, Madeline Hood, described to me as a goal-scoring machine. And Madeline, big game tomorrow night, playing Western Christian. What are your thoughts going into this matchup that will decide the league champion in the Ambassador League?
Well, we've been preparing a lot, and I think that our team has been doing good as a whole from losing to Western last time, but we've been preparing to beat them this time, so hopefully we can do that.
You know, Madeline, I was looking at some of the scores, and it looks like Ontario Christian did you guys a favor. They beat Western Christian, so you both only have one loss in Ambassador League play. So that really helped. So when you saw that Ontario Christian beat Western, did that kind of get you amped up a little bit more, thinking, oh my gosh, we could win the league championship now?
Yeah, we were really excited. We were like screaming. We saw it in the bathroom in the restaurant. So yeah, we were really excited.
And Madeline, what makes this so cool is it's the last regular season game. It's the last league game of the year. And we don't see that a lot in local soccer, where you truly have like a league championship game, like the last game of the year. Do you embrace the opportunity? Do you feeling any pressure? Like, how do you feel going into that final game?
Sorry, you cut out. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you feel going into this final game, knowing that there's a league championship on the line? Are you feeling any pressure going into it?
Yeah, there's some pressure, but I'm excited to play them. I'm a little nervous, but I think that our team can do good against them.
All right, Madeline, I was breaking down the numbers. I stayed up all night long doing my homework for this interview. You've outscored your opponents, I think this is correct, 98-14. That includes your 7-zip win against Woodcrest Christian just the other day. I think it was last night, actually. What's the secret to you guys on offense? Why are you guys scoring so many goals this season?
Well, I think that our build-up from the defense is really good, and our midfield is really strong too. And we just get a lot of good chemistry in our plays, so we can get it in the net.
Now, Madeline, I know you're very, very humble, so I will say this for you, that you have the school record for goals in a season. Last year, as a freshman, you broke the record. Now, as a sophomore, you already have 36 goals on the season, which obliterates the old mark which you set. Are you, I don't know, pleasantly surprised how well you've done at the varsity level as a freshman and a sophomore?
Yeah,
I mean, were you surprised at all? I mean, like most freshmen and sophomores, aren't leading the team in goals and breaking school records. I mean, did you surprise yourself maybe?
Yeah, I am kind of shocked myself. I didn't really think that I'd be able to score this many, but yeah.
So when you were scoring all these goals, I scored a couple in my day. Not too many, not as many as you, but I always felt like it was the best feeling in the world. Like I'd go to school the next day and just feel like I was on cloud 9. What's it like, walking into class the next day at ACA knowing you had a hat trick or however many goals you had to help your team get a win? What's that feeling like walking the halls?
I really like it. I mean, there's not much buzz about it at school. Like, people don't really talk about soccer, but I feel good about it when I go back and go for the next game and when we play.
Oh, they'll be talking about it now because you're on the Inland Sports Show. So tomorrow you're gonna be the most popular kid on campus at Arrowhead Christian. Madeline, one more question before we let you go. What do you think are the keys to victory against Western Christian tomorrow night? What do you guys have to do well so that the Eagles have the Ambassador League title?
I think that we can just play our game and work with our chemistry, and as I said before, with like our build up from the back onto getting into
a good attack, into a good attack on the other end. So you can score some more goals. I mean, 36 isn't enough. Yeah, you're going to need a couple more to not only beat Western and then hopefully a deep playoff run in the CIF Southern Section postseason coming up. And I guess the brackets will come out. I think it's Tuesday, I want to say, for soccer. So, Madeline, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck tomorrow against Western Christian. We'll see if the Eagles can bring home that league title. So thank you, Madeline. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's Madeline Hood, everybody, from Arrowhead Christian Academy here live and amplified on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to check in with Summit head football coach Nick Matheny in a moment. Oh, I almost forgot. Johnny, we got our big boost play of the week, and I don't want to skip this one because this was a massive play for Santiago boys soccer. Huge win for the Sharks as they are your back-to-back Big 8 League champions. Dylan Vega lights the firecracker. I mean, he really ripped this one. Inside the far post for the goal. Big win there against Roosevelt 2-0, and Santiago wraps up another Big 8 League championship. They are 9-0 in the Big 8, taking on King High School tonight. But Dylan Vega providing the big boost play of the week from Santiago. Big goal there. Congrats, Dylan Vega. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, Nick Matheny from Summit High School. We'll talk a little football with him when we come back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Madison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports.
The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team. Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals.
I mean, at least last year, Tampa Bay kind of bucked that old trend that, we've talked about this before. The host cities never had that home team play in the Super Bowl and win it. Well, Tampa Bay did it last year. We thought, wow, I guess that means good news for LA this year. The Rams or the Chargers will be in the Super Bowl and win it all. Look, we've got the Rams in the Super Bowl, and again, they had the NFC Championship game at SoFi yesterday. So they're making history. Matt Stafford playing in his, first Super Bowl. Apparently he's not that bad of a quarterback, but they've got a chance to win it against the Cinderella team, I'd say, of the playoffs, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Downright, the Bengals somehow went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs 27-24 in overtime, which hardly anybody goes into Kansas City and beats Patrick Mahomes. Somehow Joey franchise, Joe Burrow of the Bengals and Cincinnati get the job done on the road, and now they've got another huge task in front of them. They went on the road to Kansas City. Now it's going to be a road game again going up against the Rams. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to Madeline Hood from ACA for joining us here. A big soccer match in the Ambassador League come tomorrow against Western Christian. Now we're talking more football. Man, this one, Coach Nick Matheny at Summit High School reached out to me, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to drum up some support. We all saw on the news the horrific video and images coming out of the small island of Tonga. Coach Matheny joined us here live on the Inland Sports Show. And Coach, it's so awesome to see you guys trying to give back and make an impact on these folks, these poor folks who are struggling there. Tell us more about your involvement with this, the nonprofit, and with Summit High School, and what you guys are trying to accomplish.
Yeah, a lot of people I don't think wouldn't know this, but the island of Tonga hasn't had a single COVID case since the whole pandemic started. The borders were shut down. And so we have a good handful of kids on our team that they still have family back on the island. Actually, one of our senior captains, Kohei Fakava, his grandmother's still back on the island. And they were on a conference call, I believe, with his aunt when they lost communication and just the phone went black. And we were in pretty close contact with the family for about 36 hours. And then they eventually started to get communications back. But a few years ago, we started a nonprofit, just didn't really know what we were doing. Not sure if we do now, but just to try and help people. We've done various small things over the years, and we named it Upright Athletics. And so really what we've kind of teamed up with our ASB, Avid, Cheer, just to, right now we've got kind of a big room full of different items, like there's clothing, water, anything that can be shipped over in a big container back to the islands is kind of what we're shooting for right now. And our website, and I can send this to you, Pep, and maybe you can retweet it or something like that for me.
Sure.
We have a little flyer with the desired items, but we're hoping to fill at least one, possibly two 21-foot containers, and that will take a while to get there.
Coach, there it is too. We've got it on the screen right now for you.
Yeah, that's it, Coach. You got it. So, that's kind of the goal. And so we're just hoping that, we can make some type of small impact. I don't know if you guys saw those videos, but what a horrific ordeal. And, we're just, like I said, we have a big Tongan population on our campus and on our football team. And, if we can be some small way of helping, we're all for it. So, if anybody would like to bring any of those donations, they can bring them directly to the school, drop them off. We'll come up and grab them and give you a thank you. Everything's tax deductible. We're a 501c3, tax exempt organization. And also on our website, uprightathletics.org, there's a little tab for it says Tonga Relief. And if you go to that tab, there's a PayPal link that you can donate monetarily as well. So, we're just chipping away at it and trying to do our little part. So, like I said, really appreciate you, Pep, on a sports show, letting us slide in here. But I think it's for a pretty damn good cause.
And we saw that list, Coach. It looked like a bunch of non-perishable food items, things that can make that trip to Tonga. Toiletries. I saw towels on there. So, it might seem like a small item, but to the folks receiving it, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to make a huge impact.
Yeah, and I know that with the borders being shut down, a lot of the aid so far has come from New Zealand and Australia, islands that are a little bit closer. So, from kind of what we've gathered, it sounds like it's going to take a while to gather all the items, right? A while to get them on the container, a while to have them shipped there. So it's kind of like we're like the third and fourth wave of doing this. We've actually a couple college coaches that I've met through recruiting. Their families are already working on things like this as well. So, we're just one little small piece of it. But, so far we've got, like I said, we've got a pretty big room full of items, and we hope to continue on that.
That's awesome. So the response has been good so far, and I think the date on that flyer said February 11th, right? So folks, if they're watching the show, if they're gonna hear this and feel like they're moved to donate something, they'll have till February 11th. Just knock on the front door at Summit High School. Say, I'm here for Nick Matheny. I've got all of this food. Where's Coach?
They will find me. We have an awesome front office staff. They are used to some of my shenanigans and some of my schemes, and so this one's actually for a good cause. So they'll have no problem tracking me down. But like I said, some of the stories and just some of the little things that you hear are just, we're not walking in a foot and a half of water right now in our downstairs bedrooms and bathrooms and things like that. So anything that can be. To anybody who's listening to this, the football community in the Inland Empire is so strong. And at the end of the day, we're all competitors. We don't want to compete. But, even to all the guys that are out there, if you feel moved to donate, we have an Instagram account as well, Upright Athletics. However you feel, whatever you feel in your heart to donate, we really appreciate it. And 100% of every nickel is going straight to this. There's no salaries or or anything like that. This is going all straight back, and we're going to head to Costco and Smart and Final with these monetary donations and just buy as much bulk as we can. We've reached out to some local businesses, and they've kind of chipped in as well. So.
That's awesome, Coach. And you know what? If there's other football teams or head coaches out there watching the show, I challenge you guys. I challenge the other schools, the other football teams, the other coaches out there to, like you said, you're competitors. And when you see each other on the football field, of course, you want to win. But we're also a tight-knit group here in the IE that want to help each other out. So if you're another football program out here, maybe a league rival of Summit, but you want to help, and we'll take anybody.
Hey, I know Cardoso would be the first one, man. He's about the best dude out there. So, I know, like I said, we have a great community in all sports and athletics and everything else, especially football. And we all know everybody had that one Polynesian player you played with that was just a dude on your team and you were friends with in some way. So I think this kind of hits the heart of everybody. And, thank you, Pep, for letting us be on here tonight and kind of spread the word. If anybody hears this, we are here, and we're hoping to be a little bit of help.
Absolutely, Coach. That's Nick Matheny from Summit High School. We'll make sure we'll share that information again. We already did, but we'll do it again on social media so we can make people aware leading up to February 11th, which is the deadline. Coach, always good to see you. Next time we'll talk some football.
Pat. You got it, brother. You got it, man. This is this is always the best time of year, right? Everybody's optimistic and excited and ready to get after it. I worked out with the team the other day. I'm a little bit more sore than I anticipated, but hey, at least I'm upright. So,
Coach, always appreciate the time. We'll talk again soon.
You guys too. Thanks, Pep. Take care, brother.
Yes, sir. That's Nick Matheny, head football coach for the Summit Skyhawks. Again, talking about the Tongan relief that are going through. There's the flyer again on the screen between Upright Athletics, his nonprofit, and Summit High School trying to give back. So again, I challenge you out there if you're interested. I can get you in touch with Coach Matheny or just show up to Summit High School with some of those goods that they are looking for. All right, let's talk a little high school basketball real quick before we wrap things up here on the Inland Sports Show. It was a huge game in the Ivy League the other night. It was live on Teen Vision TV 16 as Riverside Poly took on the Rancho Verde High School. The Mustangs battling the Bears, and it was Poly coming out on top in a close one. 51-48 the final score. Braden Burries with 19 in the game for the Bears. Peyton White chipped in 18 for Poly. This is 3 straight Ivy League championships for the Riverside Poly Bears. They are now 24-2, 7-0 in the Ivy League. The Bears are playing at Notre Dame tonight, so they're playing right now. Rancho Verde right now is playing at Orange Vista if you're watching us live and amplified. And then Rancho Verde is going to play at Notre Dame versus Notre Dame on Friday as, again, we're wrapping up the regular season. The playoff brackets will come out next week, and here we go. The march to a CIF title begins. But we're crowning league champions this week, so congrats to the Riverside Poly Bears, your 3-time Ivy League champions. And finally tonight, our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. In fact, they are getting ready to tip off. If you are watching us live, they're tipping off in a matter of minutes. It's a Roosevelt and Norco boys basketball, and the playoff push starts right now for the Norco Cougars. They are 4-4 in the Big 8 League. Roosevelt, a solid second place in the Big 8 behind Centennial, but Norco could really use a win against Roosevelt tonight to help their case to make the playoffs. And another big game for Norco coming up on Friday against King High School. That will likely be for third place in the Big 8 League and a playoff spot. So these are some huge games. The final week for Norco starts tonight against Roosevelt, which is always a tough game. Mustangs are tough, strong year in and year out with Coach Singleton. So Norco has an uphill battle, but it's a big week for the Cougars as they try that playoff push, try to get in there. And again, King on Friday, that's another big one. Big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, here at Teen Vision TV 16. We appreciate you tuning in tonight here in the Teen Vision TV 16 studio. My name is Pep Fernandez. We will see you again next Wednesday, and I can already tell you we've got a couple guests booked. We're going to have Santiago boys soccer live on the show, and Steve Madrill, the skipper for the King High baseball team. Baseball season is almost here, so we're going to have a nice mix of winter playoffs, previewing the winter playoffs, and also getting ready for spring sports with baseball and softball and all those starting up shortly. My name is Pep Fernandez. Stay safe out there. God bless you, and we will see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.